Hello, everyone, and welcome to the BACP Empower Hour. I'm Lotika, Chief Small Business Officer with the Chicago Department of Business Affairs and Consumer Protection, also known as BACP. This webinar series is meant to help businesses and consumers get the information they need to succeed by sharing advice and stories from Chicago's entrepreneurs. We are in the holiday gift giving season, and shopping for kids, we all know, can often be quite overwhelming. There are the latest toys and the tried and true classics, and how do you pick? Today's guest is here to shed some light into the world of toys for us. With us today, please join me in welcoming Scott Friedland, owner of Timeless Toys. Let's find out how the store came into existence and get some gift ideas from Scott. Good afternoon, Scott. Thank you so much for joining us today. Before we get into the questions, can you tell our webinar attendees a little bit about yourself, Scott?
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Scott Friedland. I am the shopkeeper at Timeless Toys in the Lincoln Square community. I live in Chicago in Albany Park with my wife Leah and my two sons Jackson and Bo, 7-year-old and 3.5-year-old. Um, I love toys. I work multiple jobs in the toy industry. The shopkeeper of Timeless Toys. I'm also a toy sales rep in the Midwest with a group called Enchanted Moments. I've served in the Indiana Army National Guard for 14 years and still going. And yeah, I love to have fun. I love bringing smiles to children's faces, and it's a great time.
Um, we are grateful Timeless Toys has been in Chicago for so long. I've shopped for my son when he was a little kid there as well. So it's an incredible store if you haven't visited. So it was established in 1993, Scott, by Harry and Martha Burroughs. When and how did you become the owner of Timeless Toys?
Yeah, so actually, my father and I are partners in the business, and my father has been a CPA for over 50 years, and he owned his own small business accounting firm that I worked for a few years after exiting my active duty time in the Army. And Timeless Toys was one of our clients. Actually, he had known the family forever. He was the client. He was the accountant since the day the doors opened. And they called us looking for financial planning for retirement. We specialized in evaluating small businesses for sale and helping find a buyer. And we were starting that project. And my father came to me. He goes, how would you be interested in owning a toy store? I know you don't want to be an accountant forever. I was like, yeah, that sounds amazing. So I started working for Harry and Martha with the plan to buy them out after 4 years of working for them. And unfortunately, Harry got very ill. They decided to retire early. So after 2 years of working for them, I bought the store and haven't looked back since.
That's a great story. Thank you for sharing the connective dots. It all comes full circle. And I love how you frame yourself as well as being the head shopkeeper for Timeless Toys. That is so fun. So you obviously enjoy your job, your business very much. So let's talk a little bit about the products that are sold at the store. Scott, there's so much out there. How do you select the types of toys you carry and how do you manage your inventory?
So we select the toys that we carry mostly through trade shows and visiting with sales reps. I mentioned I'm a sales rep as well. So we have multiple sales reps that work with anywhere from 10 to 40 manufacturers. They come visit our store multiple times a year. Most of them live in the area. We also go to plenty of trade shows. Usually 2 to 3 a year, although there are some happening almost every month of the year. And we go there with just myself, my manager. Sometimes we'll bring some staff along with us too. And that's where we find our toys. And we manage our inventory, by we find the right products that fit within our store and our customers, things that we like as well. We use a point of sale system that helps us manage the whole thing, that helps us, reorder the items. We do have a warehouse attached to the store as well, so we get a lot of back stock. But yeah, we travel around and we get to play with toys at toy shows around the country.
Sounds like such a fun job. Um, so when I think of toy stores, Scott, I think of popular, trendy toys of that season. And when you think of your own store, what is your primary focus when you select toys for timeless toys and why?
So our primary focus is educational toys for young kids. And you know, in general, toys are educational, right? That's how kids learn. We try to not focus on trendy items. We try not to carry a lot of licensed product, and we want to carry product that will last your family a long time. Not something that the kid's going to be uninterested in a few days or a few weeks, something that's going to break easily. We're looking for things that are going to last your kid multiple years, maybe even a second or third kid, and something that you want to save to pass down to the next generation because it was such an amazing toy to play with.
So, we're in the holiday season, quite in the thick of it. And shopping for toys, especially during the holiday season, every parent knows can be very exhausting. So, how does your store ensure that your staff is not just knowledgeable about the toys that they're selling to the customers, but then how do you ensure during all this hustle and bustle that you are also providing quality customer service to people who walk in the doors?
Sure. Timeless Toys is kind of unique when it comes to mom and pop shops. I think we have a lot of staff that's been here for multiple years. Um, I have two staff that have been here for 20, this is their 24th Christmas season. Um, and multiples for 8, 9, 10 years. And so we keep our staff here. Most of our staff are previous childhood educators. We've studied childhood psychology. We have a lot of us have certificates in certified play experts through the American Specialty Toy Association. So we are all educated in child development through the lens of play. And even our seasonal staff, we hire seasonal staff that has a lot of experience working with kids, and we don't hire them for just the Christmas season. We bring them in a month, 2 months early, and we do a lot of training with them on the product. They get to take the product home with them, play with it, pull things out of the boxes. They learn from our experienced staff here. So that's how we make sure that everyone is knowledgeable. And also just we're out there to help the customers. We always have extra staff on hand. We're overstaffed most of the time, and we like it that way because we know we have the enough people to help every customer here in the store keep the shelf stocked and keep things moving.
Congratulations, by the way, Scott. Like when you talk about people working at your store for 20 plus years, I mean, employee retention is such an important thing for small businesses. So really, really glad to hear that. You've obviously created something very special. Um, you know, Nowadays online shopping has really boomed a lot. You have huge marketplaces like Amazon, Walmart.com, e-commerce has boomed. How has your store, which is very much the more traditional brick and mortar mom and pop store, adapted? And, you know, in this industry right now, product play has become so important. So how have you adapted in these past 5 years?
Well, I think it's a combination of everything we've talked about previously for the most part, right? Like when you come into Timeless Toys, you're not just coming for a toy, right? You're coming for the expertise of our staff. And we ask a lot of questions. When someone's roaming the aisles, it's, oh, who are you shopping for? How old are they? Do they have siblings? What are things they're struggling with in school? What are things they like to play with, the things they already have? We're going to find the perfect toy for that kid and not what the most popular item is for that age group. Because the most popular thing that's going to phase out, but the perfect toy for that kid is going to last that kid a long time and going to help them through the next stage of development. Um, We also curate our products so nicely. Our buyers are absolutely amazing in picking out things that are specialty you're not going to find in a lot of mass marketplaces. We've also created an online store that is booming right now. We started working with marketing groups, social media groups. We started working with a paid professional to help us revamp our website and make it better, more useful with Google and all these different things. And so we're starting to invest our money in those different avenues to help compete with the larger marketplaces. The other thing is just advocacy. We've seen over the years that in the toy industry, the manufacturers have become much stricter with minimum advertised pricing. So we're playing a fair game across the board now. Um, we're not seeing that toys are higher or much lower priced on some of these larger marketplaces or at these big box stores. You know, we're within $1, $2, a lot of times even cheaper than the mass marketplaces because those manufacturers have done such a good job from all the store owners' advocacy across the years.
That is actually really good to know. I was not aware of that little tidbit of information. So thank you for sharing that. You know, what I've loved till now in what you have framed for us is the emphasis that you and your staff pay to education and learning while kids are playing. And that seems to be a throughput in how you buy your toys, what you choose to stock with, how you sell. So, can you share with us what are some store activities and toys that actually focus on development?
Sure. So I would say all of our toys focus on development, right? Toys either focus on, they could focus on motor skills, fine or gross motor skills, emotional stability, mental health. We have science, construction, engineering, board games. You learn about turn taking, and even the concept of winning and losing or a cooperative game where you're trying to work together as a team. These are all things that help develop, right? And we do a ton of store activities throughout the year as well. We have a play table out. We have tons of demos out. Often we invite our toy reps in and manufacturers to do play dates. We are actively involved in a lot of street festivals. As well as with festivals with our or events with our local schools in the area. So we're always trying to get these toys into the hands of the kids, but also having our staff there is the most important thing because they're able to explain to the parent why is this such an important toy for those kids, and not just because it's cool and it's fun, right? These kids are learning without even knowing it, which is the best part.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So, maybe pivoting a little bit here. Many of our attendees probably today on this webinar are looking to start a business or they're looking to scale a business. And having been in business now, it always takes capital, right? It takes money sometimes to make money and to scale and to grow. So, for our listeners who are seeking capital, can you share some advice with them on how you approach this aspect of your business?
Sure. So we've done it in a lot of ways. There's a lot of and as a former small business accountant who's helped people purchase other businesses too, there's a lot of creative ways in buying a business. When we bought this business, we put very minimal money up front, out of our pocket. And we had the sellers of the business actually finance us.
Mhm.
And by that, we signed a 5-year contract to pay them back over those 5 years. They actually made more money out of it because we were able to offer a higher price to them than what they were asking, and they received interest as because that was a business loan basically. And we signed a contract where they actually helped us out. They were basically hired as consultants for the business over those 5 years and kind of helped slow roll their retirement, made them more money. So you can get creative in the ways that you finance your business in purchase. Um, we've used bank loans in the past. A few years ago, we opened a kids clothing store. We opened up a line of credit for that, and we still use that line of credit because toys is very seasonal, right? We do a pretty good job most of the year, but a large portion of our sales come between Thanksgiving and and Christmas. So we have to find creative ways to be able to get product in the door before we sell it at the end of the year. So we do use a line of credit. That's been really helpful. We've created that relationship with those banks. And we've been able to get good deals on those line of credits because obviously there's a little bit of the history of the store, but also we've used local banks, which believe in us and in our business model, and they're part of the community just as much as we are. You know, we'll have credit cards through them. They do our credit card processing. And when you start stacking these things up at the same bank, they're willing to give you much better deals and look past a few items well to get you to where you need to be. So that's kind of how we've done it in the past.
Um, you know, first of all, seller financing to buy your business, very smart. We always think about how legacy business owners can plan their exits, and that is definitely a really great strategy for them. And then relationship building with your financial institution is really, really important. Like it should happen before you actually need the money. So I think that is so smart. Um, when you briefly alluded to this, Scott, when you talked about marketing and partnerships. So what is your current marketing and promotion strategy for Timeless Toys? And has that changed over the years since you bought into the business?
Yeah, it's definitely changed over the years. You know, we used to not do when I bought the store from the previous owners, there wasn't a whole lot of marketing strategy. Um, you know, they were posting things around the neighborhood, using social media a little bit, but we've really ramped that up. So we work with we work with the social media group. I was running the social media for a long time. I was a marketing major and wanted to hold on to that. And I realized, you know, there's people who could just do this way better than me. So we work with a social media group. I work with a specific group that does paid advertising, whether it be through social media or Google, Bing, those types of things. You know, we have staff that we send out emails a lot. We advertise with local. One of the things is like we love to get back to the community, right? So we get interest from local schools of, you know, oh, we'll put you in in the football program. We'll put you here, and like we always want to give money to that, right? So we're constantly marketing through the local channels there. We're sponsors of the local baseball league. You know, we work closely with the Chamber of Commerce here. We also, you know, I think it's actually almost 7, 8 years ago, we hired a PR firm. Another local group here that, you know, that was met through the Chamber of Commerce and a networking event, and they've been amazing for us too. I'm sure if you watch the news, I'm on the news probably every week during the holiday season and throughout the year. And now we've created a relationship with all those news networks. So most of them will reach out to me as the toy expert, right? So we're doing back to schools, Easter, you know, great things for summer road trips. Like when they have those times come up, they're going to reach out to me. I'm the local Chicago toy expert now, and I've created those relationships throughout the years through our PR firm. So that's been huge for us as well.
That's great. So you mentioned chambers of commerce. I want to dig into that a little bit because I feel like a lot of small businesses are unaware of resources that are available for them to tap into, to get help at no cost, right? Really to them, because that's the function that they play. And BACP, as a city department, has a partnership with over 70 neighborhood business development centers like chambers of commerce, business service organizations that are our boots in the ground, in communities. So you mentioned briefly that you worked with them, the one in Lincoln Square, and I'm assuming, but please correct me if I'm wrong. And then, how was it able to help you other than like some introductions? Like, were you really plugged into the work that they do and the awareness that they create?
Yeah, I'm big on chambers of commerce. So the Lincoln Square Ravenswood Chamber of Commerce is our local chamber of commerce. I've been a member. We've been a member of that ever since the store existed. And I've been the treasurer and the past president. I'm back as the treasurer now of the Lincoln Square Chamber of Commerce. I own a second business that's part of the North River Commission, which is the Albany Park Chamber of Commerce. I've done events with the Ravenswood Chamber of Commerce, the North Center Chamber of Commerce. So the Chamber of Commerce is great. It provides so much, right? They provide us both marketing opportunities. They work with a PR firm as well that gets us attention throughout the year. It's actually the same PR firm we use, and that's how I got introduced to them because they were coming and giving us new segments throughout the year. They allow us to participate in all their events. Our name is on, we do a lot of marketing through them too at very low prices. We get our name out in front of thousands of people, whether it be for Apple Fest or Square Roots Festival or what have you. And they're the people who you have to remember that the Chamber of Commerce does so much work that people don't realize. They're the ones that are emptying the trash cans on the street. They're the ones that are putting up the holiday lights on the street. They're the ones that are working with the aldermen and the police officers to make sure that our neighborhood is safe. They're doing revamp of streets and they do everything, things that you think that the city does, before you really join. That's your Chamber of Commerce is really doing all that. So for a minimum price a year, you can join this Chamber of Commerce and help solve problems in your area and advocate for all your small businesses, which is amazing.
Yes, and I think you articulated that so beautifully because the city does partner with all these organizations, North River Commission, like you mentioned, in Albany Park, and then Lincoln Square Ravenswood Chamber, just to be kind of like our presence in communities. And as special service areas, they do a lot of work, whether it's safety or cleanliness or the holiday lights, all of that is kind of funneled through them. So thank you for sharing that. We're very proud of the work that they do, and we couldn't do it without them. Um, you know, Timeless Toys has been a neighborhood staple for decades now. And I'm sure you're at this phase where, kids who shopped there as kids are now bringing their kids back. So I'm assuming you've seen a lot of repeat customers at the store. So how important have customer relationships been to the success of the business?
Customer relationships are everything. We love to get to know our customers, and like you said, like we have customers who they grew up coming to the store as kids and they're bringing their kids, right? Or people who brought their kids and now they're bringing their grandkids. And so it's absolutely amazing to see. And we have people who come back to visit, year after year that have moved out of town. Um, it's everything. And that's what I love about my staff here too, is that it's funny, we may not know the parents' names as often, but we know every kid's name that walks in this store, and they light up, they're happy to see us, we're happy to see them. And it just creates that feel of community, right? And it's not, at least for me, Timeless Toys it's not about making money, right? Like we're here to serve a specific purpose in this community and we want to be part of this community. Um, and we show that by being involved in the community, giving back to the community where we need it, giving back to the schools, knowing the kids. And it's fun because, when I walk around the neighborhood here, I live in the neighborhood, and I'll walk by and they'll be like, "Oh, it's the toy guy," and I'll see people out at restaurants and walking down the street getting coffee, and it's always so much fun, and to see these kids out and about and chat with them and learn about what are they playing with, and it's a great time, and it's so important to be part of that community. It really makes, I mean, especially here in Chicago where everything is so neighborhood centric, right? We rely on this community to keep us going, and this community is the reason we've been here for over 30 years.
Absolutely. I mean, Timeless Toys is such an anchor business for Lincoln Square. And you're so right. Small businesses define our communities. They're the heart and soul of our communities here in Chicago, and really the backbone of the city's economy as well. So thank you really for everything that you do. Being a small business is hard. And I think what you have done in sustaining, growing, and scaling this business has been really incredible. So, Scott, when you think about having been in business for 30 years, being a legacy anchor business in Lincoln Square, what are some outreach efforts that Timeless Toy does to remind customers that they need to shop local year round and not just during the holidays? That's a big push from the Department of Business Affairs and Consumer Protection. We want people to shop local. So, what do you do?
So, a lot of outreach that we do, like I said, we're in schools constantly trying, and getting in front of the parents. We work with a lot of the tourism industry downtown as well. And that's thanks to our Chamber of Commerce. They're really big. It's actually funny. Since COVID and a lot of Michigan Avenue stores closed down and these big box retailers, our Chamber of Commerce was really proactive in getting in front of the hotels and the tourism industry and getting people to take the train up here. And we've become the shopping, Lincoln Square has become the shopping destination for a lot of tourism. So that's been huge too. And honestly, it's just being out there and vocal, we get on the news, we get on the radio. But we've got our doors open every single day. If it's a slow day, we get out into the square and we start drawing with chalk and blowing bubbles and doing whatever. We participate in neighborhood festivals throughout the summer, which is huge as well. That brings a lot of attention to us. There's hundreds of festivals every day in the city of Chicago. It's what I love about Chicago summers. There's always an opportunity for us to get out there and in front of people.
Yeah, I agree. And I love sometimes how hyper local you can get with your outreach efforts. That is great. Scott, again, thank you so much for sharing your story today with our attendees. And I want to transition a little bit right now. As a small business owner, it's really tough. Running a business is hard work, and you're making it sound like a lot of fun for all of us right now. But I'm sure it's long days, it's a lot of hard work. You have a big team that you manage. What do you do to relax?
Oh man. So my my happy place is Wrigley Field. I if I need a day off, I will go to that day game. I've been a lifelong Cubs fan. My kids are Cubs fans, so I love taking my kids to the game. They have a blast. Yeah, I'm a huge baseball fan, so I love doing that. I just love being outside, whether it's going for a bike ride along the lake, getting out for a walk in the neighborhood. My sons and I love all the all the Chicago parks. We drive to every Chicago park because everyone is so unique and different. So we love going there. We love heading to climb zones. My son's favorite place right now, all the climbing walls and high ropes course. So we go there. We play laser tag. We do all of it. I love hanging out with my kids and just being outside. It's a ton of fun.
Yeah. It sounds like a lot of fun. So what is one toy that you yourself cannot part with?
Oh, that's a good question. As a kid, I was obsessed with Hot Wheels cars. My sisters always make fun of me. I grew up in a family. I had three older sisters. I was in a house full of women. And they, when I was really young, 4 or 5 years old, they all had purses that they would take out and about with them. And so I always thought that something you're like a bag you carried out of the house was just called a purse. Um, and so I had my car purse and I took my Hot Wheels cars with me everywhere. And I'm in my 30s now. My sister still make fun of me for my car purse. You know, took my Hot Wheels cars everywhere. So, but now as an adult, I'm really, it depends on what my kids are into. Right now, we're really into building. We love Legos, we love Magna tiles. Um, my oldest son he loves board games, and so do I. So we're constantly playing board games year round. We absolutely love it. He loves the challenge and learning new things. I've got right above my desk here, I have my original Tonka truck from when I was a kid that all my nieces and nephews and my kids play with. It's very rusty and gross. But it, you know, I love those nostalgic toys, and I love just seeing what my kids are interested in and hopping along and playing with them.
And favorite board game right now?
Oh, our favorite board game. Um, so recently my oldest son has been really into Mastermind. I don't know if you know that one where you guess the color combination and you tell the person how many colors are correct but in the wrong spot and how many colors are correct and in the right spot, and you have to guess it. We've been really into that game lately. For his birthday was last week. He just got Exploding Kittens. So we've been
Oh,
playing so we've been playing Exploding Kittens a lot. But he's in the chess club at school, so him and I have been playing chess a lot. Which is a ton of fun. I haven't played since high school, so I'm relearning myself, which is great.
well, I have played Mastermind, Exploding Kittens, and chess. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of parallels here. Um, Scott, this webinar is titled Empower Hour. And can you share a piece of advice that can empower our attendees today?
Yeah, I was thinking about this and I would just say like be passionate about what you do, right? One thing I the reason I love the toy industry and timeless toys is because in my all my years I've been working in the toy industry for 10 years now. I've never woken up and not wanted to go to work. And I can't say that about any other job I've ever had. There have been days where I'm like, "Ugh, I go to work today." Not here, right? And I love it. This is my baby. This is one of my kids, this store, and I want to be here. I want to be out in front of the customers. I love working with the staff. Hire people that you enjoy being around, um, and just be passionate. Get out there. Be active in your chamber of commerce. Be active in your local community. Remember, the more you give back to your community, the more your community is going to give back to you. And especially, like I said, here in Chicago, where everything is so hyper local with the neighborhoods, those are your real customers that are keeping you alive. So get out, be active, support the other local businesses, do cross promotions with them. There's just so much opportunity out there.
Thank you for sharing that. That was wonderful advice. Um, Before we take questions from the audience, can you please provide us with your social media and website? I'm pretty sure everyone knows it, but still.
Sure, yeah, you can find us at timelesstoys.com. Facebook and Instagram, we're Timeless Toys Chicago. For both of them. And you could go see the amazing work of these great teams I hired to run our social media pages. You'll see my kids all over the social media as well, and the great group we hired to help revamp our website.
That's great. So let's now, I'm going to transition it to Stella and, we'll take questions from the audience right now for you, Scott.
Yeah, go ahead.
First question, what are some of your most popular toys?
Oh, that's a good question. So we've seen a huge swing since COVID in plush animals, right? Stuffed animals. They're impossible to keep on the shelf right now. Especially there's a brand called Jellycat. I'm getting calls about Jellycat um, every single day, and uh, so that's really popular for us. Some of our more popular brands are Hoppe Toys, Magnetiles, Smart Toys and Games are some of our big brands as well. Yeah, but I'm saying like stuffed animals, they're impossible to keep up on right now. We can't get enough of them.
Any plans for a second location?
Um, maybe in the future, yeah, we've looked at purchasing some other businesses in the past. It just didn't work out. Um, we'd love to open up more locations at some point, but we love what we do here in the community, and it's about just finding the right space. And also not I don't want to compete with other toy stores, right? So actually, there are multiple specialty toy stores here in Chicago, and all of us are really good friends. We share customers, we trade product with each other, we buy some product together to get better deals. Um, and I'm really active in the Specialty Toy Association. So just finding that right time, right space, and right opportunity. But maybe in the future, look out for it.
Do you hope the children will take over your business and keep the legacy going?
Oh man, maybe one day, my 7-year-old son, for a long time, he said he wanted to work at Timeless Toys. I think that dream has faded from him, but he does come work here quite often, especially during holiday season. If you guys stop at the store on any Saturday or Sunday, he is here with me. Both my sons were raised in this store. They didn't go to daycare until they were 1, and both of them after mom went back to work, they came here with me every day for the year. So they both lived here. They grew up here. They're continuing to grow up here. Maybe one of them will be interested one day.
I work with children part-time at a school and at home. Do you have toys for children with special needs?
Oh, absolutely. We have so many toys for children with special needs. And in fact, our staff is really knowledgeable on it. Most of our staff has friends or family with special needs. We have one staff member who actually is a special needs educator. So, with special needs, it's interesting because there aren't necessarily, we don't focus on a specific toy for special needs, right? We want to find the right toy for that kid, and we have so many things in this store. So when you come in, if you're shopping for someone with special needs, we're going to ask you all the questions, and we're going to find out, what are their sensory needs, what are they learning right now, what are all these things, and we're going to find that perfect toy for them that fits that kid, and we have this knowledgeable staff to do it.
What are the age range of your clients? And how important trade shows to your business?
Yeah, so first question, what's the age range of our clients? Newborns all the way to adults. We are across the board. I think one of my favorite parts about this business is the adult that walks in the store and their eyes glow, and you could tell that their mind is reverting back to childhood, right? There's so many fun things for adults to play with. You should never stop playing, right? It's so great for you, great for your energy, your mind, your body. So I mean, our main focus is really that like 1 to 10-year-old, right? But we have things that for all ages. So a large range of clientele. Um, Trade shows, they are extremely important for a lot of reasons. One is the education value, right? So there are education sessions at all these trade shows. It's where we've gotten our certified play expert certifications. The networking is huge, right? For any business, you need to be out in front of the industry, you need to be in front of the manufacturers. There are so many manufacturers throughout the years that I've created such great relationships with, and some of them are my best friends now. And it helps, right? They're going to give you the true insight on what they have, on what's working, what's not working. They're going to offer you special deals that you may not get anywhere else because you have that relationship. They're going to allow you to test product out for them, at no cost to you sometimes. So those relationships are extremely important, but also it's important to project out what you're going to be on top of. The trends in the industry, what's coming out in the future. You remember a lot of these trade shows, it has current things, but they also have things that aren't coming out for a few months, and you need to know what that is and what you're looking at for the future, especially in the toy industry or a lot of industries where you're shopping for months from now. And also it's the place where you find new vendors. That the trade shows is where you set yourself apart from the big box retailer, because you're going to find that small vendor that doesn't have the manufacturing power to get into the Target, Walmart, blah, 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 whatever. And you're going to be the first person to introduce it in your store, right? And it could be a true specialty product. So there's so much to do. And those trade shows are the most valuable thing we do all year.
Do you reach out initially to other specialty toy store owners? And how do you establish a positive relationship within your community so everyone is helping one another thrive?
Yeah, I reach out to other toy store owners all the time. You know, and it started all when I started working here at Timeless Toys, and I knew I was gonna buy the business, right? I saw what some other toy store owners were doing, and I reached out to them and said, "Hey, I would love to learn from you. How do you do this? How do you do that?" And we start the conversation. And from the beginning, the previous owners were way more competitive with a lot of these toy stores and butted heads a little bit. And I've created such a good relationship with them that when I'm out of a product, I might have oversold a product, and so I'll call in another toy store in the in Chicago and be like, "Yo, can I buy 5 of these from you?" And they're like, "Yeah, how about we trade this for this? I really need this." So we trade that. If For me, it's important to find the customer what they want, right? So if a customer comes in here and I don't carry an item, but I know that this person does down the street, I'm picking up that phone. "Hey, do you guys have this in stock? Put it in hold. They're going to be there in 5 minutes. So we share customers as well. I support the other toy stores too. I have kids that on weekends go, "I want to go to the toy store." Well, I don't want to go to work on my day off, so I'm going to take them to another local toy store, right? And we support them too. um yeah, and that support is huge. Supporting your local businesses. We do cross promotions with other local businesses in the area. Always, every year during our small business Saturday, I go buy gift cards to all the local businesses and I give them out to customers here in the store as their promotion to help support those other businesses. They do similar things for us. And that's big because, back we had our 25th birthday 5 years ago, and I decided I wanted to throw a huge carnival. So I pulled the permit to rent out the square. We threw a carnival, and I invited other local businesses, and they came and set up booths. And I told them, I said, "I want everything to be free and no problem." And no one even questioned it. And they were handing out free, I had the spice store handing out free brownies that they made using their spices. I had a candy store coming out they did a cotton candy machine. So all these people, I had a coffee shop out there giving away free coffee. It was it was so much fun, and it really created that feeling of community. And how do I reach out to the community? I tell you, we do a ton of things just like that carnival, right? We take every opportunity to do free events for the community. I never want to charge for an event. The community is the reason my store is here, and so I want to give back to them. So when we do we do toy giveaways year round. We do these special events like putting on a carnival and inviting 400, inviting the whole community. We had 400 people out there. We had we do neighborhood toy store month where we have events in store for free all month long. We do story time on a weekly basis. We do our play dates, all sorts of fun things. And it's about being creative with programming too, and just getting people in the door to help you. We participate in the farmers market. So that community outreach is everything. Give back to the community that's supporting your business, and it will return to you twofold. I promise.
Lotika, looks like that is it, and we are almost
Yeah.
at time.
So, Scott, really wanted to say a very heartfelt thank you from the city of Chicago to you to really hopping on this call today with us for Empower Hour and sharing insights about your business. We love learning more about Timeless Toys And really, your passion for the business was evident throughout our conversation. So again, thank you very much. And I do want to say, just listening to the Q&A session, one of the things that really stood out for me was the fact how you look at competition and collaboration, and how with all these community engagement events, the carnival, you are not shrinking the pie, but you're expanding the pie in a very hyper-local manner for businesses in your community. So again, thank you for sharing that with us. I really enjoyed our conversation.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. This was great. And yeah, I see. Yeah, sorry, I see that there's a few questions that people I'm answering those. I'm typing those in the Q&A portion here.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
thank you
I
very much.
know.
And
I
then
think
if anyone ever has questions, you could feel free to email me. It's scott@timelesstoyschicago.com. You could reach us out to, I'm the guy who answers the Facebook and Instagram messages. So if you reach out to us on Facebook and Instagram, or there's a contact us on our website too. If you ask for me, people will forward the email my way. So feel free to reach out to me if you guys have questions, if you're interested in partnerships, whatever. I'm happy. I'm really passionate about helping small businesses. Throughout my years, I've helped so many small businesses, make themselves better, answer questions. Networking is everything, and we're all here to help each other. So please reach out to me. I'm happy to help you and talk to you the way I did it. It may not be the right thing for you, but at least it gets your brain moving in the right direction. And, you could think of some new ideas. So thank you
yeah.
so much for having me. This was great.
Thank you. And now everyone has Scott's email address. I can see the questions are still rolling in, but now you know how to reach him. So for everyone, you can watch today's Empower Hour on our YouTube channel by visiting youtube.com/Chicago BACP. And for information on our next Empower Hour, please visit chicago.gov/business education. Thank you. And thank you again, Scott.
Yeah, thank you.